Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another S13 project. This one's a little bit of a side quest. I did not think we were going to be doing this, but what we're actually doing today on the S13 is we are going to be coming in here and we're going to be replacing our factory speakers, or I guess I will say aftermarket speakers, because this car does have aftermarket speakers in it. They just suck. So the other night I was doing some shopping for the car for the other projects that we're expecting to do, like the battery relocation and some belts and stuff like that. And I impulse bought some kicker speakers. So what I got for the car is I got 4x6 inch for the front and the rear. They are the same size. These are kicker, I believe it's their CS series, if I'm not mistaken, right there. CSC46 is the model. They are 50 watt RMS, which if you guys aren't big audio people, not that I'm considering myself an audio head, but basically what the RMS rating is how much power the speaker can continuously handle. So these can handle 50 watts continuously without blowing up. So if you guys are ever doing your own audio system and you're like, oh man, I want some 150 watt speakers, don't get 150 watt max. You'll want 150 RMS, but I don't need that much power because there's no amp or anything. We're just going right off of the head unit that's already in the car, which is a 200 watt. So divided by 4 channels, all the speakers, you'll be at 50 watts per channel. So the theory here is these speakers will be able to handle the head unit's maximum output at max volume and not have any sort of issues. Now I do want to mention also while I'm here, the reason that I'm doing 4-inch by 6-inch speakers all the way around is because that is what the car comes with, and I don't want to run into any clearance issues. I got a bunch of other projects planned for this car. I don't need to be figuring out how to put car audio in it. I just want speakers that sound pretty good and will work. They do make adapters for the front doors where you can put a 6.5-inch circular speaker in there. I was reading up on those. I almost went that route, but I ran into a couple people that were saying they were having clearance issues with the window rolling down and that sort of thing. So I don't feel like dealing with that. These are basically gonna be, we're gonna open the box, take out the old speakers, put the new ones in, and then we're gonna test them out. So pretty easy, but I'm gonna show you how to take off all these speakers. We'll get these in, test them, and then the 240 will be one step closer to bumping some Gucci Mane, Project Pat, Juicy J on grid. Also, you guys may have noticed from the intro, you've seen the Volks before, but if we go to the front of the car, we got some new Johnsons. The Johnsons with the chrome lip. So what these are some work Euro lines. I believe they are 18 by 9 plus 40, I think is the offset. So not too shab. I do have them on the front of the car right now. I was gonna use them as steers, but I'm kind of upset because I think the one on my passenger side, it might be slightly bent. I messaged the dude that I bought them from, or I guess traded from on Marketplace, and he said he never felt any sort of vibration. So what we're probably gonna end up doing is these will be burners for the rear, but they look sick. And then we're gonna put some 225s on the Volks and put them on the front. I made a whole ass video trying to fit the works on the front of the S13, and they do fit good, and then I found out after the fact that it might be bent, so I don't even really want to mess with it. So that whole video that I filmed is going in the trash. We're not using it, which kind of sucks because it took me like a whole day, and I think we're gonna do Volks on the front, Volks on the back, works for spare burners for the back, and then we'll be good. But I gotta put new tires on the Volks at some point. I'm gonna order some soon, so we can get a 225 and fit it on the front, because I am trying to stay 18s all the way around on this car. I know a lot of S chassis guys do 17, 18 staggered, but I like the big wheel look myself, so I'm gonna make it work. So once we get tires, we'll be tackling that project, but let's move on to the speakers. So if you guys have never removed an S13 door card, it's extremely easy. There was one Phillips screw down in this door cup right here. There's just a little panel in there you pop out. There's a screw in there. This is like a little cap, Phillips head screw, you take that off. This piece right here comes right out from behind the handle. It just pops in there. There's no screw or anything like that. Just be careful when you take your window control switch out, because these are very brutal. As you can see, mine is already cracked. Not from me, but you just want to be careful. And then the door, you can basically just grab on it, pull, and there's a bunch of clips in here, and it'll pop right off. So we're gonna get this door off real quick. I'll show you the front speakers and we'll swap them out. All right guys, door card is off. Everything is good. And you can see here is our door speaker. This is what we are after. So I don't know what kind of speaker this is, but this thing is trash. I do want to mention as well, I don't know if it's these speakers that are necessarily bad. It could have been the previous owner that I bought the car from, because when I bought the car, It had a aftermarket head unit in it, and the way that he had the audio set up is he had the like bass, mid-range, treble, all of it like maxed out, which that doesn't make it louder. That just makes the radio basically portray those outputs more intensely. So they could be blown, but basically we're gonna fix that issue. We're gonna get these speakers out, and then we're gonna put the new ones in. This is the stock speaker surround, which holds the 6x4 inch speaker. When you go in a 6.5, it converts it to a big circle, but again, there's issues with the window when it goes in the door. It might hit the back of the larger speaker. And then the speaker cover, I've seen on some it doesn't fit, and I do want to keep the speaker cover because I think it looks nice. So we're gonna get that out. We're gonna plug the new one in. It's gonna be good to go. All right, guys, so I got the old speaker out. What this is a Boss Chaos Extreme, dude, with 2 X's, because it's so fucking sick. CH4630, apparently they're 250 watt maxes. I beg to differ. And I got that out. Here is our new kicker. Very high quality materials and everything. It's got the tweeter built in. One thing I did notice is if you look at the side profile of each of them, the kicker, which is on the left, has a significantly larger magnet than the Boss one does. Usually with audio, bigger magnet means more power, which means more sound, more flex of the audio cone. So this guy should be quite a bit louder than this piece of shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap it in real quick. Again, the previous owner did cut my wiring harness, so it is a simple plug and play for me. And then once I get both sides in on the front, I'll show you how to do the rears. And then we're gonna put them in the car, we're gonna test them and see if they bang. All right, guys, so let me give you an update and let you know where we are at currently with the speaker install. So the front 2 speakers, they are in. I tested them on very, very, very low volume just to make sure they work. They are good, which is why we have the door panels back on. So with the fronts being done, we are now in the trunk working on the rears. Now, if your S13 still has a rear interior, you will have speaker covers for the rear speakers. And I took the one off because I was afraid to do it on camera because I was afraid I might break it. But all you have to do, you'll see here is the old cover. It has 2 metal clips on what would be the inside. So basically if it sits like that, you pop it up right here and then it slides out this way. Make sure you slide it, do not lift it because you will break these tabs. But then it's real easy. We got 4 screws right there. We're gonna pop those out, pop this back in, and then we get to sit in the car with the doors closed and give it a sound test. All right, guys, so the speakers are in both of the front doors as well as in the rear hatch here. I did a quick test. They do all work. One thing that I am kind of a little bit upset about is I didn't realize, so basically with car audio, there is a little bit of a problem, but it's a pretty easy fix. So my S13 is an SE model, meaning it came equipped with the active speaker factory system. The problem is the active speaker system from factory, it does have an amplifier for the door speakers. The problem you run into with aftermarket head units is aftermarket head units have their own amplifier in them. So I'm sending an amplified signal to the amplifier in the car, which then goes to the speaker. So it's making a slight hissing sound. So what I have to do is either bypass the factory amp or just get a line out adjuster and wire it in line with that, which is probably what I'll do because it's super easy. But the radio does work. I'm thinking that the speakers that I replaced, or the old speakers, were just so shit that I never noticed any sort of like hissing or anything. So all I gotta do is get a line output converter and the signal will be super crisp and clean. I will say though, the experience in the car is so much better because my front 2 door speakers, I'm pretty confident were blown before this point in time. So now both speakers make noise, sound really good, sound really crisp, sound really clean, so we do like that. We are gonna get a sub, we're gonna fix that audio issue, and then the audio system in this car will be super, super, super good, and I cannot wait. But I can't do a speaker install video without giving you guys a little bit of a test. So I turned on the head unit here. Let's go ahead, I'll put some tunes on, and the next clip will be an audio test. Well, there you guys have it. Hopefully from those couple of clips, you could hear it pretty well. I will say the overall audio output quality of these speakers is really good. they do struggle with low frequencies. So if you're like myself and you listen to music like I listen to, as you just heard, like Jeezy, any sort of hip hop, bass heavy music, even rock with a lot of drums, you might want a subwoofer, just because these smaller speakers, they don't have the size to be able to output those lower deep frequencies. But we are going to be putting a subwoofer in this car. So once we fix the head unit output issue, which is super easy, and put a subwoofer in it, the audio system will be 100% good to go. So I am pretty stoked. When we're sitting on grid in this thing, we can be jamming. It's a full-blown street car. We got radio in it. All we really need is AC. It's got heat, everything like that. Like I said, it is a really good street car. So all the creature comforts, I'm very happy with how it turned out. So next video, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be relocating the battery to the trunk. It's a very popular mod amongst S chassis, one being for the reason where the battery sits in the engine bay is typically where your intercooler piping goes if you do turbo the vehicle. The reason I'm doing it is for that in the future, and also so I can keep a larger battery so we can power the sub for the audio system. Because I could get a slim battery, but then it would really struggle to keep up with the engine, radio, subwoofer, everything like that. So we are going to be moving the battery to the trunk. I got everything coming in the mail. It should be here this weekend. So shortly after this video is released, should be that video. So hopefully, if any of you guys are trying to put speakers in an S13, I know there's not many of these left around, especially in this good of condition, but maybe I helped you guys out. If you have any questions about the speakers, let me know in the comments. If you guys want to see anything specific on the car, drop a comment too. I am always open for new video ideas, but I do want to say I appreciate everyone who made it this far in the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.